Hello everyone, so welcome back to my YouTube channel and today I want to talk about a topic that's incredibly important for many students like myself who are pursuing their dreams of studying abroad. Whether you are planning to embark on this exciting journey or are simply curious about the process, we will be diving into the ins and outs of renting a house as an international student. So it's not an easy task. Finding the right accommodation can be a thrilling yet challenging experience as an international student. And I hope that by sharing some valuable insights and tips, I can help make this process easier, smoother for you. And so let's get it started. And and guys, if you haven't seen my university tour, you can check it out. And some people already commented below like how to find accommodation and how to find a room there. So I thought it would be great to speak about this experience. And this video would be like in segments, like in sections, like because I have prepared few categories like a budget, the application process, the safety, the location, like pretty much everything that needs for everybody to get a home. So I think these like sections and rules are pretty much valid for everybody who want to study abroad, like in every country, not for just one country. For example, like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, United States, and wherever you want. I just named these countries because they are just like popular and famous countries where international students go. But yeah, I mean these rules are valid and you can apply these things to like pretty much everywhere you go. So first I want to speak about my experience so you can get an idea. So in my first semester I got a room on my campus because I thought that would be much easier, and it was because from the time I registered with my university, like they asked whether I want to stay on campus or out, and I say like I want to stay on campus because I didn't know people from there, and it was much easier for me. And the second thing they like asked me in the application process, like whether I want to cook by myself or I want to get a meal planning. And I said maybe in the first months I don't want to cook, and because I don't know, because it was like my first time going to like a new country and live there separate from my parents. And I said okay, maybe I'm getting a meal plan. So for like everything, maybe I'm telling the prices maybe late, so stay tuned. And so yeah, so everything was included, including like so like when I went to my university, like people from the university came to pick up me at the airport and they dropped me at my accommodation. I mean they pretty much knew everything about me, like where was I going to stay, what am I studying. In fact, when they came to the airport to pick me up, I mean not just me, like other students as well. Indeed, I remember that they came with a bus and a truck. And so yeah, so they gave like every student a file, which is they gave some information and things like what we are going to study, and like a brief like some documents. I mean they are like not like serious documents, but you could get an idea what it was going to look like. And so then also they asked me like where I was going to stay, and I say like where was I going to stay. And they dropped me out, and they helped me with my luggages, and so they gave me the ID and the campus ID, and they explained me where was my room and things like that. So my room was a single room, but I had to share my bathroom with my neighbor. So it was another male student from China, I remember. And hi, if you recognize me. and yeah, we two had to share the same bathroom, but for the cleaning and stuff, a person from the campus came, or like once a week, and he cleaned our rooms and like a sink, the bathroom. So in each room we had like a separated sink, a place to put our clothes, a wardrobe, and a desk, a chair, and there was like a basket. If I can find the image, I will post it here. And so there was like a welcoming basket where I had few things like two bottle of water and some macaronis and a packet of macaroni, and I had few other things like shampoos and oh my god, there was few things. I have to find that image. So I had also they gave me like bed sheets and two pairs what of not napkins, what they were, two pair of towels and bed sheets and covers. They gave me pretty much everything. Oh, and then things to put my used clothes, and so it was much helpful when I had to wash them. So I could bring this stuff and directly to the kitchen, because I remember that in the kitchen there was the washing machines and a dryer. So luckily we didn't have to put coins for the so we don't so technically we didn't have to pay extra for other things, because everything was included, and we could yeah, we could do whatever we wanted except damaging things. And it was a nice experience, because that was my first time, didn't and I didn't know anything. So that was the correct choice for me. But from the other side, there were students who got a room or an apartment from their choices, and they looked them like on online, and they went there. And in that case, they are they are not gonna like people from the campus to pick you up at the campus at the at the airport, and so you have to do things like all alone. I mean, those were students who joined them for masters. So if you are doing your undergrads, you are smaller, and like every campus has their own rules. Indeed, like if you are younger than 20 or 21 years old, you have to get an accommodation from on campus. You have to live on campus. But if you are like older, old enough, like older than 21 years old, you can get an apartment or a room out campus. But if you want to live on campus, you can do that as well. And so the campus offers few options. So they have like rooms, apartments, and apartments with like 4 rooms and 8 rooms, and you can share it with your friends. But when you, as an international student, you like in the first day, you have no idea. So I got a single room, and I had a public kitchen. And so yeah, if I could cook, I mean, I started to cook from that kitchen. So it was a great experience. I remember that there were like national days, so the restaurant was closed, so I had to cook myself. So that's gonna be a good stuff as well, because as an international student you cannot depend only from the restaurant of the campus, because it's gonna close on like on national days. And so yeah, stay so keep that in mind. And so that's for my first semester. But when I sign up for it, I sign up that I wanted to stay on campus for 2 semesters. Indeed, I had to pay like 13,500 or 14,000, and but I understood that that was too much expensive. So I started to find an accommodation out campus for my second semester. Indeed, that was much cheaper, but that's because I was there to find an option by myself. And there are like groups on Facebook where people are finding roommates, and they are sharing their room or an apartment with others. So they will ask you like, our room is blah blah blah, but you have to be careful because there are some people who will trick you and get your money. So yeah, be careful. But I could luckily find this place, and I paid something around 350 US dollars, including everything. So not including everything, because so the price was, so the renting price was 300 US dollars, including water, sewage, heating, and that's it. But we had to pay for electricity and the internet. Internet was a private thing. Indeed, my roommates, no, my roommate, my housemate say like it was him to get it, and it doesn't come with the house. But it depends from house to house and apartment to apartment, room to room. And let's get in. And as you can see already, the knobs are a little bit different and plasticky. And so even the knobs are a little bit different. They are not the traditional one, and we can close them from like the inside, and we cannot use the key to close them inside from the side. And yeah, that's how it works. And also we have these switches that they are not the traditional one. And in the USA, I think it's the normal thing. I mean, these switches are normal. They are not the traditional one, and these things are to storage things like bags, heavy stuff that we don't use. And yeah, the shoes are stored there for my housemate. And let's move into the living room where I have a mess, because like since my like these are the beds, and this is the vacuum, I bought it. And yeah, all this stuff are like they are from my roommate because he moved out for the COVID. And yeah, and this is my mask. Here we go, COVID. So yeah, this is the chair to chill, and this is supposed to be a plant which I haven't seen since I moved into this place. And yeah, so I was lucky enough to get this place, because see, as soon as I got this place, COVID just appeared, and my roommate and my housemate just went to his girlfriend. And I put this thing to dry my clothes. And yeah, this is the window of my housemate's room, and so he can breathe and see out the outside. And yeah, this is the bush. So yeah, this is the look of our and that's the supermarket where I'm used to go. But I also go to the Walmart, which is, there are a lot of things. And these shoes are of my housemate. I don't know why they are left there. And so yeah, I was saying like for the COVID, he went to his girlfriend because he didn't want to stay here. And so this is our living room, and this is where I do my stuff. This is a little desk, the water, computer, charger, books, and stuff. So yeah, and yeah, so and this is our kitchen where we keep our stuffs, and half of things are just mine, and the rest of things are of my, and all those stuff are for my housemate, and I don't even use those stuff. And so yeah, shoes. And yeah, here is the bathroom. It's a very little bathroom. I mean, the sink, the commode, everything, toothbrush, of course, the Colgate. Oh no, we are not sponsoring it. So yeah, and so yeah, I was using it just it by myself. But I like, my housemate was there for like few months, but then he flew. And so this is his room. It's clean, that's why I'm showing it. And I had to clean this room because he called some other guy, because since he was with his girlfriend, he wanted to rent his room. So I had to remove everything from his room, and there are little things to move yet, but yeah, I had to remove everything from his room to the living room so he could rent it. And so like he said me that this room is a little bit bigger than the ceiling, this room is a little bit bigger than mine, and this is the modem, and I leave thanks to it. And so yeah, he had to also take the internet, like privately, it doesn't come with the renting the house. And yeah, we have to pay bills. And I think that's the end. The light switches and lights again. And what else? Also, there we have another compartment to store things, and yeah, the books and boxes and things. And then what else? Oh yeah, that's my room. That's my room, and I'm not gonna show you what's there because there is things. And so yeah, this is the alarm thing. So if the smoke is caught, that thing start alarming. And we also have a the carbon monoxide alarm, and luckily I haven't yet it, but yeah, it's better to have one. And yeah, so in this house we have just two rooms, bathroom and a kitchen, and obviously the a balcony. And I think that's it. So yeah, so that's my experience. Now let's talk about the actual things, how it does work. So the budget. First thing is budget. So budget can play an important role when you are an international student. If you are coming from Asia, Africa, countries like that, because we are used, like our currency is cheaper than the US one or the Australian dollar or euros or whatever it is. So keep in mind this, your currency, so your parents will pay you in that currency. So the budget is the huge thing here, because it depends from the location, safety, and whether your room is single, studio, shared room, or shared apartment. So you have to decide what is your budget. So according to your budget, you can find a room, a studio, or whatever. I mean, there are rooms, but it also depends from the location, because I was in a very very small city. So that's why my renting was that cheap. But actually in the same city there were rooms that cost around 680 to few thousand US dollars. So I was really really lucky enough to find that room. And because other students had to pay really, I mean, it's only about paying some extra time on in the internet, because if you can really pay some time on internet, you can find a good deal. But not always, because these good deals are gonna like vanish in one day. And so yeah, so the budget is a huge thing, especially if you are coming from Africa and Asia. But Asian people are rich. So especially there are so many Chinese and Indians people who come from these countries. And like they are really rich, and they get like studios and apartments. I really had friends who came from these countries, and I mean, they are wealthy. We cannot do anything from that. And so yeah, it also depends from the location. So when it comes to location, you cannot live far from 5 to 10 kilometers. You have to be always like 1 to 5, 4 and a half kilometers from the campus, because especially when it comes to the winter season. There are like snow, and there are going to be some delays due to the winter snow, and you don't want to, I mean, especially if you are not like a morning person, it's gonna really hurt because you have to wake up early in the morning and cook for yourself, prepare, wash yourself, and taking public transportation. Luckily, the public transportation for the university is free, but it depends from the university to university. So don't take my words. And luckily, my university was like free. So yeah, but keep in mind, like, the location is really important when it comes to the university students, because going to the classes late, it's not a thing. So you, to show that you are a good student, you have to be on time, and so yeah, location is a great play an important role as well as budget. But yeah, I know it depends from location to location, and yeah. So speaking about the safety is, you have to be safe when you're in the New States, because there are so many people with guns. Oh my God, no, that's not true. At least in my city. And so yeah, there are like cities and towns where people are addicted to drugs, and may seem a little bit scary, especially for those people who come from another continent from another country, and they are not used to see this stuff. And so yeah, safety is a huge thing, and it comes with the budget again. And so you don't want to be part of these organizations and cities, because as an international student you are limited. I don't want to say limited, but you don't want to be part of this stuff, especially nothing. And so yeah, it's better to consider a better place, because you might get frightened from certain things, and it's better to avoid things, because when you are a student you must have a clean mind to study, a peaceful place to study, and do stuff. So safety is another thing to calculate when it comes to finding an apartment. And so yeah, and I mean, all this stuff you can talk with the landlord or with an agency, and I will talk about this later. So when it comes to the lease and terms, it's an important thing, because lease technically is the contract, the period of the contract. And so they will ask you for how many months. Sometimes they will ask like for how many months, or for how many semesters, and for how many years. And if you so it so the price can vary from the leasing time, because if you are getting a room or an apartment for 2 semesters, you are going to pay a little bit less than getting a room or an apartment for just a 1 semester. And indeed, you are going to pay even less if you are getting this apartment or a room for more than 1 year. And because the landlord is like, say, okay, it's fine, I mean, we know each other, and we can do this. And so you have to be careful when you are signing the lease, because if you want to move out or leave this place earlier than the date you mention on the contract, you are going to pay a fine. So, or you have to find someone who is able to move into your place. I mean, there are so many people you can find on like Facebook. You can contact them, and do you want to move into my places? Yes, you are. I saw that you are finding a place, and blah blah blah. In that case, you are not going to pay anything but read the contract. And another important thing is whether the room or an apartment is furnished or not, because in the most of the cases they are furnished, but even though the apartment or the room is furnished, sometimes there are like a missing bed and wardrobes on I don't know, man. And so But if it is like furnished, you can find a wardrobe and a refrigerator, heatings, and I mean heatings are pretty much everywhere because all these countries are like pretty much they have like winter seasons. So yeah, and so you have to prepare for the furnished or unfurnished. I mean it's gonna be a little bit expensive when if it's furnished, but it's not that you are going to bring stuff from your home country. I mean it's gonna be like really really expensive. So, and as an international student you don't want to miss classes, especially in the first week. And so the problem is as the international student, because I mean you must have like few times, like a time to going to the like Walmart or IKEA to get furnitures or whatever you need. And so yeah, and another thing is to see and other utilities and amenities, because most of this time the renting price include these stuff like water, electricity, sewage, and internet and whatever it is. But you have to check the contract, because for example in my case everything was included except for the internet and electricity, and but it depends from place to place and apartment to apartment and room to room. So it's better to read the contract. And so the rental application is easy, but you have to be really 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 careful. If you cannot understand something, read it twice, read it three times, read it four times, and read it 5, 7, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. And if you have still some issues, talk to somebody, search it online, and talk with your professors, because professors in the United States are really kind, and they are there to help you. And talk to somebody, and otherwise don't sign the contract, because I mean like in these countries, Australia, England, Canada, wherever it is, these people explain things to like well detailed. So if you understand everything it's fine, but if you cannot understand you can ask them questions, and because otherwise you are going to pay fines after fines, and you don't want to do that. And rent application, so when you are filling like rent applications, there are some cases that they might ask you about the credit score. And actually this happened to me, because when I went to an agency they asked me about the credit score, and I had no literally any idea what that was, because that was my first time in the United States, in abroad. I mean not abroad, but like first time living by myself. And I just got a job, and even though I could afford to live in that apartment, they asked me for a credit score. So I had no any idea. But afterwards my roommate, my housemate explained me how it works. And yeah, but luckily they ask like international students just for the passport or the visa status, but that's it. They might not ask you about the credit score. I mean if they will ask you, just move on with another agency, and they will be there to help you. And you can I mean don't just be like stuck on that agency, on that apartment, because houses and apartments will fly like that. And so rental insurance, when it comes to rental insurance, I didn't have a one. If my house went on fire, that's gonna be fire like the 5 stars. So yeah, don't do my same mistake. I mean I was lucky enough to have a clean house, and nothing happened to me actually. So, and but having a rental insurance is gonna cover you like everything, if you're gonna robbed, or if your house gonna be on fire, or like during the winter season the pipe may break into pieces because they might obviously freeze. And so yeah, it's a good thing to have a rental insurance. And I remember that I saw a video of international student who live in England, and he said like he didn't have and a rental insurance, but somebody told him to get a one, and the day after he got his insurance, he got robbed. Like his bicycle was gone, and it was something around like 3,000 pounds. But he got lucky enough to get those money back because he had the insurance. So get a one. I mean, it's very cheap, so you will be lucky enough if something will happen, and let's hope nothing will happen. And and another important thing is the reputation of the agency or of the landlord. I mean, this must be one, like, first thing first, because there are so many people, so many foreigners who live the in every country, and they will try to trick you. Usually these things don't do like their nationalities, but we don't know, so don't be tricked by them. And in the most of the cases they will ask you money to send them money if you want to get the place, but ask them always whether they need money when you moved in or early. So I like don't get places if they need money early. And it is possible that they will say like okay, if somebody will ask me for this same room, you are not gonna get it later, and say okay, it's fine. Because they for sure they will ask like for an advance. And once they get this money, they will disappear from your life. They will block you on like WhatsApp, Messenger, Facebook, wherever you were contact with him. And believe me, there are so many people on these groups. And I was in the Netherlands, I was in France, I was in Italy. I was in each country. I was looking for an apartment and rooms, and there are people who do these things. So we are living in the same world. So people are same. It's just a country, and it's just the cultures that different. So so yeah, look always the reputation of the landlord or of the agency. If I were you, I would contact just agencies, because uh, they are just good. Because agencies just don't open and close. They will be stay there for like few years. So if you are a new person to a new country, just contact these agencies instead of landlords. In most of the cases, these landlords are like in contact with the agencies, and that's absolutely fine, because like these landlords don't have enough time to check who are good people or not, and whether these people are like serious or not, and whether they will pay them on time or not. So yeah, that's why there is an agent in the middle of thing. And obviously when you are signing the contract, you have to also check the housing regulation, because sometimes or most of the time they say like you are not allowed to party inside your house and on room, or you are not allowed to bring someone from your campus, or you are not allowed to bring animals, dogs, cats, and yeah. So read the contract how many times you need, and you have to understand things. And it is a good thing for you and for your landlord or for an agency, because they know that you know things. And I mean, you don't want to pay fines, right? So read the contract and discover things. And one another thing is like when it comes to the budget, you may want to check it with your currency rate, because uh, if your parents are going to check it, I mean, if your parents are going to pay for your tuitions and renting for accommodation, it's better that you convert the the pricing to your home currency, because most of the time what happen is like the students are really excited and they want to get a studio and a really nice apartment, but what happened is like their parents know that the prices are a little bit different, and at the end it's gonna be happen like really bad things, and you don't want to meet with those stuff. So stay acknowledged and inform your parents, and let them check it for you, because it is possible that they know something more than you, and they have some experience, and yeah. And so yeah, even though like it is like really excited to live abroad as an international student, keep your mind and eyes always open, because not always like it's not always like it's not gonna happen like everything like flawlessly. So keep your eyes always open, and finding roommates, it's another thing, because I have like few experience, because I have been in few places and I would like to avoid some people. Of course, I'm not going to tell you which people, because otherwise you think that this whole country is these people are dirty, or they don't wash themselves like every day. So but when I'm getting a place, I have these things, but I mean, not every person is like the same, but you have some preferences. But I mean, if you are an international student, try to get a room with the students of that country, because you can exchange few ideas and how the country works, and if something happen, they will there to help you, and they will also know something more than you, because they are from there. So, and if you like didn't know how to cook, and before you depart from your home country, just learn to cook and clean at least your room, and so you won't disturb other people. And one another thing is like in the United States, if you are not 21 yet, I mean, if you are younger than 21 years old, you cannot drink. So if you are a person who already drink, you have to moderate things. And because I mean, as we are going to move into their country, we have to do things a little bit differently, right? So we have to respect them, we have to make friends, and I mean, if we are happy people, and I mean, we can make friends, so it's a good thing. And but obviously we have to check this stuff like budget, location, safety, and lease and terms. And I think I spoke about few things, few points, and I think these points will like be enough to get an idea. And I hope you really like this video, and ask me any other questions if you have anything, like how to study abroad, and what is the process of sending an application, as I'm replying to these people, like how to find an accommodation. I will try to answer to those questions as well. And what else, I think that's it for today's video. And yeah, if you like, you can just hit that like button, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will try to explain few other things. And yeah, just ask me comment it below if there is something, and I will try to answer you. And until then, see you in the next time, and have a good day, guys, and have fun.